What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about The Naked Gun, which is also known as The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. So this was a first time watch for me. I have it on DVD here. I picked this up at Dollar Tree a while back, and I always recall seeing the cover. I'm saying that as I'm showing you the back. I always recall seeing the cover at Blockbuster and various video stores growing up. It's a very iconic cover. I really dig it. But yeah, this was the first time I watched. I never saw it. I've seen the third one, which I believe is called The Naked Gun 33 and 1/3. But yeah, I've never seen the original. I know it's a classic, but I just never got around to watching it. I've had it on DVD for quite a while, but some of my DVDs just sit and collect dust. And then I saw that it was on Tubi, and that put it in my head like, oh, let me go ahead and watch this. And I mean, I really liked it. I thought it was phenomenal. It was a lot like, it was so similar to Airplane, which Leslie Nielsen was also in, where it's just non-stop jokes, and pretty much all the jokes are funny. So yeah, I was like actually laughing out loud. I was really into it. This is like my type of comedy. I do like some good slapstick and physical comedy when it's done well. I mean, there is a lot of verbal comedy in this too, but I mean, so much slapstick and just, I don't know, real silly, goofy stuff, but it totally works. It was just absolutely hilarious. So I was a big fan of this. So now I'm going to jump into a little plot summary here. So the movie follows this police officer, Frank, played by Leslie Nielsen, and his partner, Nordberg, played by O.J. Simpson. He was, trying to bust this like drug ring, and these like individuals who were in the drug ring, they like shoot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times. But they actually said that they didn't say it like Dr. Loomis, but yeah, he got shot 6 times and he fell off a boat and he's in critical condition. And a little bit later on, people start to speculate that Nordberg was selling drugs. So basically, Frank is tasked to clear Nordberg's name because the Queen of England is coming to town, and they don't want this getting out while she's in town. It'll cause like mass uproar. So Frank has to clear Nordberg's name. So he starts investigating, and he investigates this gentleman named Vincent Ludwig, and Vincent is he was like given $20 million to kill the queen, and he's like mind controlling people to kill the queen, and basically Frank falls in love with Vincent's assistant Jane. They have this like budding romance that goes throughout like the whole movie. So yeah, you got the little romance subplot, but yeah, basically Frank is trying to clear Nordberg's name, but he's also trying to stop Vincent. And then later on, Frank gets kicked off the force. So like part of his motivation is not only to clear his partner's name and to stop the queen from getting killed, but also he wants to prove himself so he can get back on the force. So that is the basic plot summary. Most of this review, I'm really just going to talk about funny stuff that I really enjoyed. So there's this scene where Frank has to speak at a press conference, and he's having problems with his microphone early on, and he's just like pouring up some water initially, and I kept focusing on the water. I'm like, this water is gonna come into play. Like maybe someone's gonna say something. He's gonna spit it out, or maybe there's something weird in the water. I'm like, there's got to be some sort of gag, some sort of joke with the water. So he's just pouring the water and nothing's happening, and then he just like chugs the water. I'm like that's kind of weird. Like what where is this going? Like is that the joke? Is he just chugging the water? But then later on it comes into play. So he's having problems with his microphone, and eventually he uses someone else's microphone and it starts to work. And while the press conference is still going on, he goes to the bathroom and he forgets that his mic is on. And since he chugged all this water, he just takes the longest piss that you could ever imagine, and it's like so prolonged, and everyone just looks like shocked and appalled. They're like, "Oh my goodness! Like is that the sound of piss?" And they're like, "Oh my goodness gracious!" Like it's just like he has no idea, and it just won't stop. It keeps flowing. It'll stop for a sec. It's flowing. So that I really liked that whole sequence. That was absolutely hilarious. There's this instance early on. I mean, later on where, like I said, Vincent, he can like mind control people to murder people. So he mind controls this doctor to try to kill Nordberg when Nordberg's in the hospital, and basically Frank goes on this like car chase to try to catch the doctor that's being mind controlled, and basically like the car that he commandeers is a student driver car, and throughout the whole car chase the driving instructor is giving the like teenage girl instructions on how to like do this whole high-speed chase thing, and they're shooting at each other, blah blah blah. There's this one instance where the girl is going like head on and she's about to hit this semi-truck, and then the driving instructor's like, okay, you're gonna hit the brakes now, you're gonna reverse, and like it's just like a total near miss. And the semi-truck driver, he like starts yelling at the girl, and he calls her like dumb or something. He's like, you dumb broad or whatever. And basically the driving instructor instructs her, he's like, okay, put your arm out the window, and then he's like, flip your middle finger up. He didn't say it exactly like that, but I just thought that was like the best when he's like instructing her to flip the guy off, because the guy had road rage, and it's like not only is he instructing her how to drive, he's like, this is driving etiquette. If someone's a total a-hole and is gonna go road rage on you, start yelling at you, call you a dumb broad, it's like you gotta extend your arm out the window, and then you gotta go ahead and extend your middle finger. So she flips the guy off, the truck driver, and he makes the funniest face. He just has his eyes all like bugged out, like he was so shocked that this like little like teenage girl is just flipping him off. She's like a pro with the road rage reaction. So that was great. There's a sequence where Frank is in Vincent's like penthouse, and he's trying to investigate a little bit, and he just totally destroys everything. Like Vincent has all these priceless items, all these extremely rare items, and Frank just destroys everything. So he's like, and he sees like that he's like coming up, like about to come up, so he's like, I gotta dip out of here, I don't want to get caught. So he like climbs out the window, and he's just climbing on the ledge of the building, and he's like clinging onto these statues, and all these statues, they're like those like Greek type statues where they're all naked. So he'll just be like grabbing the breast of a female statue, and then all the male statues have these like huge penises, and he'll just like grab on to their like penis. And then there's this one woman, she's like opens her window, and she has these like huge breasts, she's got like double D's, so he accidentally like clings onto one of her breasts, and she's just looking at him like crazy. She's like screaming, and then he slips, and he's like grabbing onto the statue's penis, and he's like it looks like he's about to put his mouth on it because he's like struggling, and she's just looking at him like he's crazy. So that whole sequence was hilarious. There was there's a like a romantic montage with, you know, Frank and Jane at one point, and it was so funny. Like they're like squirting mustard all over each other. They're at some hot dog stand and they're just like squirting mustard all over each other. I mean they're like in love, so they're like blinded by love. But I'll be thinking like that junk stains. Like, what are you doing? But that was hilarious how they're just like squirting mustard on each other. But then there's like this recurring sequence in the montage where they're like holding hands and running on the beach, and then they're holding hands and they have their arms like out like that, and this other couple comes by and they just clothesline the couple. Like, they go down, they just like knock them down. That was awesome. So that was a fantastic romantic montage. I really liked it. And then I just like, you know, how like the recurring thing of Frank just destroying Vincent's house. Like, early on, he's like, "Oh, I have this rare pen and it's indestructible, except the only way it can be destroyed is with water." So, you know, of course, Frank like accidentally flicks the pen into water, and then he like kills his, you know, super rare fish. He like with the pen, and and then, like I said, later on he just destroys everything at Vincent's house. So I kind of like that running thing, how he just destroyed all these priceless items, and he's just like such a klutz. He's so clumsy, and yeah, that was like a nice like little running gag. So yeah, that was the last thing I had in my notes for. Oh yeah, I gotta mention too the thing where he's there's this one gentleman that Frank is interrogating, and he's like, "Tell me what you know," and the guy's like, "Hey, I don't know anything. I don't know anything." And then like he'll slip him a 20. He's like, "Come on, tell me what you know." And then he slips him another 20, and the guy starts talking, and then the guy starts asking Frank questions, and then he's paying him the same 20s to like get this info out of him, and they just keep going back and forth, trying to get like info out of each other. So it's like they're just swapping the same 20s back and forth. That was great. So yeah, I could go on all day. I don't want this video to be, 26 hours long, but every joke hit in this movie. I don't think there was a groaner. I think all of the jokes were fantastic, and it was like simple stuff, a lot of physical comedy, nothing, it wasn't like offensive, it was just like simple, silly, goofy humor, and it just worked, Sometimes movies get like real dark with the humor. This was like, it was lighthearted, silly, goofy, and it worked. It was not like, I don't know, sometimes that type of comedy, you're just like rolling your eyes. But I don't know, not with this movie. Like, this movie does it so well. This is like, for like a silly type comedy, this is like probably, I don't know, it's like one of the best. Like, I know I just saw it, but like I can tell why this movie's so well regarded. It's just like start to finish, non-stop laughs, hilarious. So yeah, The Naked Gun is great. In addition to the comedy, the story is great, the performances are great, and there's actually like a good, like quite a bit of good action. So yeah, in terms of a recommendation, if you haven't seen The Naked Gun, definitely check it out. It slaps. It's thebomb.com. Great movie, great comedy. Sometimes you need a good comedy in your life. It'll lift your spirits. This definitely lifted my spirits. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling nice. So yeah, The Naked Gun. It's free on Tubi right now. So if you have Tubi, check this out. It's free. It's only like an hour and 22 minutes, I believe. Maybe an hour and 24 minutes. So it's not that much of a time investment. It's free, and you're getting this nice recommendation from your boy. So check it out. But anyways, that's been my recommendation, and that has been my review of The Naked Gun. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.